Joining us on the show once again today is a man I can now call a returning champion, of course, to this podcast. Of course, you all know him best as the head coach of the 2025 National Indoor and SEC Championship winning Georgia Bulldogs. Welcome back onto our show, UGA Women's Tennis Head Coach Drake Bernstein. Coach, good morning to you. It is always good to see your smiling face. How are you and the dogs feeling with the Sweet 16 up ahead?
We're we're all good, man. Thanks for having me on. This is one of the more exciting weeks of college tennis season, so I know you're fired up about the couple days ahead, and then next weekend as well.
No, I'm devastated. My goal was to sneak to Athens here Thursday afternoon to try and interview both you and Amanda in person. And, then I got lazy with my scheduling. And so, unfortunately, that will not be possible. But all of us will be there in spirit this weekend, as, of course, I believe it's a second straight round of 16 matchup between you and the Cal Bears, one I am certainly looking forward to. Before I get there, though, let's talk about the opening weekend. Obviously, a couple of
Mhm.
4-0 wins for your team. I happen to be on the call for both of them. That Florida A&M match, for those that didn't have the chance to follow, 6 games dropped across the board for your team. I just want to say a clap of the hands, a job well
Mhm.
done. But I know that Georgia Tech match was 4-0. It got frisky there at the end.
Mhm.
Like, they certainly made a push in that second hour. Talk me through what you saw from your team and ultimately to get 4-0, two 4-0 wins, how valuable that was.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that through the year we've had several of those kind of deceiving scoreline at the end of the day, 4-0s, where it's like, yeah, that was a battle. But in the same regard, I think that yeah, we've been in that position before where hey, we're kind of ticking along. There's everybody is throwing everything they've got at us elsewhere, and we find a way to be pushing through at the end of the day. And like get off the court relatively quick. But again, that was a battle. I think Georgia Tech has a strong team, improved throughout the year. But yeah, we had a nice little Athens crowd and a good day for it, and team's feeling good rolling forward.
It did feel like it was a particularly fun crowd there on
Mhm.
Saturday. Dare I say, an NCAA tournament crowd. And I do wonder, this is just a random tangent, at the end of every match, because looking at her record, I can only imagine how she feels. Does Anastasia Lapata come up to you and say, Coach, can we just play everything out? Like, what do I have to do to finish a match today? I mean, she was close. I think Dasha was at match point. Just like,
Mhm.
again, you felt like everyone got good. That's the sort of callousing you want from an opening weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was perfect, and those two have enough experience to know that what they're doing on the court, regardless of if they finish their match, the way that adding games to the scoreboard creates team pressure for the other side. They know they had plenty to do with it. Doesn't
Yeah.
require much explaining to them at this point.
I like that. No, 25-3 overall, and Anastasia Patos had a great season. 12-1. Like, I gotta mention, she's like, come on, like, stop it. Don't win as fast. Today's my day. And so, no, obviously, it's been an exceptional season for your group. You're the number one overall seed, of course, coming off of an NCAA final last year, and yet here's the question you knew I was going to ask you. It's an old cliche. A late loss in a season can be so helpful for a top team. I'll just ask it. What was that Texas weekend like for your group? And to have that weekend at the end of the SEC regular season, how has it helped you rally here for postseason play?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at that weekend at the beginning of the year and you say you're going on the road to Texas and Texas A&M, you know that that's no slouch of a weekend. You know what you're signing up for. You know what you're getting into, and those are two very good teams. Texas, they get the close doubles point there at their place, and it's always going to be a battle down a doubles point on the road. And they have a very talented team. And so again, were we maybe as sharp as we could have been that day? I don't know. But it's a tough team, and then you go have to back that up and play A&M at their place right after. These aren't like just really terrible losses. But I will say, I mean, of course, what you bring up is spot on. It is nice to have. Hey, you're human. We got away with one against Vandy the week before 4-3 in a battle, and so just yeah, I mean, feeling human again is always a healthy thing, and I think that we responded well going into the SEC tournament there.
Yeah, no, the results certainly speak for themselves. And, you mentioned that A&M match. Obviously, I talked to Coach Weaver earlier, and now their win count at home is up to 70 in a row. That is as tough of a place to play as anywhere in college tennis. I'm curious how you go about addressing a match like that with ice. Asigil Mert, of course, who I'm referring to
Mhm.
for listeners who don't know, the junior sophomore who has had a spectacular season. 18-2 overall. She's rebounded from that Luciana Perez match to win her last four. So I just want to preface that for all of the listeners. But as a coach, to see the comeback and ultimately still to just fall just short, like what is that conversation like the next day?
Well, I mean, I do think that there's a big difference in being down 5-2 in the third and going down 6-2
Yeah.
and coming back and giving yourself a chance to win actually there at the end. I mean, I think there's a lot to be proud of and to take away from it. It's really kind of falls back, and I know that it probably gets boring hearing from us. It falls back to, well, let's just get back to work and let's just do the day to day, and we trust where that takes us. And I think that's all that was. For not just for us, but for the whole team. I mean, it doesn't really change anything. Whether we won or we lost, we have more work to do. We have improving to do. We've got to get better. We know we've got to get better, whether we're winning or losing. And so it doesn't, like I said, from that sense, it doesn't change a whole lot. There was plenty to be proud of from the way that she responded down 5-2 in the third with all eyes on her. Yeah, we just keep pushing forward.
Yeah. What do you think has clicked so well for her this year? Because again, to go from a seventh man, for lack of a better term, last season to 18-2 and primarily playing at that number four spot, what allows a player to make that sort of leap?
He works and
Yeah.
she works and she works and she works some more. I mean, she's out there almost every day, just getting some kind of extra rep in, and Jared's done a terrific job, kind of spearheading a lot of that extra work. Um, she puts the time in, and there's no real secrets. It's just if you want to do this, it's going to take time. It's going to take being uncomfortable. It's going to take doing things you haven't done before, and she's willing to do it. And so while it's not rocket science that she's improving, it is always fun as a coach to see those you know extra sessions paying off.
Yeah, no, she's got it's just so smooth the game now and
Mm.
again, I thought she was really good this past weekend and certainly has been exceptional all season long. Before I let that Texas A&M thread go, I'm mixing the words here. I've talked a lot these past couple of days. Apologies, Coach. I was talking about this with Coach Weaver, and I want to ask you similarly because I know you have respect for college tennis, and as I've alluded to throughout this podcast series, when I write my book, it's more than Isner, a complete history of college tennis.
Hmm.
Certainly, your rivalry with Texas A&M, this last half-decade journey that you have been on, will be a part of that story because, if you play in an NCAA final this year, it would be a potential eighth matchup between your two teams over the last two seasons and obviously five straight SEC tournament championships. It has all the ingredients of the game's great rivalries. The only issue, as I told Coach Weaver, is you guys like each other too much. Like, there's way
Hmm.
too much friendly respect there. And a part of it is just like, who could dislike Mary Stoyana? Like, Dasha is a big
Hmm.
fan. There's just a lot of nice faces in this rivalry. And yet, I'm curious what it's meant to you over these past couple of seasons and to have that program to be able to measure yourself against at the top. Like, is this one of the game's great rivalries?
Yeah, I mean that's obviously they've done a lot for us when it comes to you can kind of say, well, this is where you're going to have to be at this point of the year, and you'll always kind of have that measuring stick when you get to play against them. We played them in the back draw of National Indoors, the first match last year, and we walked away from that match knowing, holy crap, I mean, that was two great teams just going to battle. you guys don't really want to talk about it until we've played 7 times. But hey, we knew it, so we kind of leave the talking up to you guys to figure out what you want to call the rivalry and this or that. We just play, and when it's time to play them or it's time to play anybody, we just try to show up and make it another day.
Yeah, well, again, it has certainly been something special for all of us to enjoy this season, and the prospect of a fourth matchup in a back-to-back NCAA finals. I think a lot of us are salivating at that thought. I said this to Coach Weaver, so I'll say it to you as well. The different, like, you remember USC UVA at its peak. Like, all due respect to them, time has passed. I think we can say Peter and Brian did not like each other. Like, you and Mark like each other.
Mhm.
It's great. It's probably healthier, but again, if you want to throw in a little chippiness, I don't think any of us would object.
You guys are welcome to have whatever narratives you'd like. You guys are welcome to have whatever narratives you like.
I'm gonna
We're just
sound,
gonna play.
yeah, I'm gonna put a story out there that like Tommy and Jared got into a fight behind the scenes
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something funny.
12's
Yeah,
12's match and they can't let go of it. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Something just very categorically false. Obviously, again, for your team, 25-3 overall on the year takes a lot of pieces to make that happen. What surprised you more? How quickly Sophia or how quickly Hayden has fallen into place and gotten this successful? Because obviously, Sophia Rojas, new piece to your program, 17-4 in dual match play, and yet, again, the big story is doubles. 50-12 in individual double sets this season. Hayden and Ice 14-4. Which surprised you more?
Yeah, I wish I could say that either of them were much of a surprise, but I mean, there's a reason that they're both here, and we we recruit with intention, and they're doing what we felt like they were capable of, and I think both have done terrific. Again, it's one of those things where it's not rocket science. You come, you buy in to the group, and you buy into what your role is and your task on any given day, and good things happen. It's not the most newsworthy story every day. It's just day after day. Both of them, Hayden and Soph, just put in the good work, and good things happen.
Yeah, it's credit to each of them. Again, people forget, like, this team is shorthanded. No Vecic, no Narundorn, all season long. When did you realize that was going to be the case? Like, how quickly did this team have to put on that mindset of, look, like, this is who we are this year. Let's roll with the punches?
Yeah, I mean, we were still pretty hopeful in January that we were going to get back to full strength, and you're right. I mean, I think that has flown under the radar as far as being a little short-handed. But we I don't think that anybody's viewing ourselves as short-handed now. And we've got plenty of capable pieces, and it wasn't really anything that had to be discussed. It was just the next man up, and we're ready to go. Again, here's your job for today. Let's go do it the best that we can, and that's really what we've stuck with the whole year, and it's gotten us this far, so I don't see us changing much now.
No, I think that's fair, to say the
Mm.
least. And certainly it's got to help to have the continuity that you still do have. And, this senior class of Dasha and Mel and Mai and just, who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting a senior.
GG.
And Gigi, thank you. I was like, I know I'm forgetting one. The success that they have had in their 4 years, obviously to bring home a national indoor title, to have competed for an NCAA championship, SEC tournament title, all these different things. It's also like people forget it's only year two in your job and in your head coaching tenure. Just what has this senior class meant to you? And dare I say, are we going to have to make some room on the Georgia women's tennis Mount Rushmore for a couple of these faces?
As far as my transition, it's been certainly helped things. They had enough experience. This big senior group had enough experience, but they still, when Chaps and Will and I kind of came in, not came in, but when we took over, it was they were still hungry and eager, and so I think that was a big part of it is that they never really got complacent. And if you look at the body of work that these four have kind of accomplished, it's been their freshman year was a round of 16 loss at Duke for the Super Regional. We were on the road. Their sophomore year as a Final Four, junior year final. I mean, they've just progressed each year. And as a coach, whether I've been here 2 or 20 as the head, that's what you're looking for year to year. So, as far as your Mount Rushmore, I mean, yeah, they've earned their way around here. They've made a name for themselves around here, and that's a big thing. We have this last match at home tomorrow, and we want to send them out. We want to send them out, with more to do next week in Waco.
No, no doubt about that. For Mel this season, who obviously dealt with so many injuries in the fall and just trying to get her back up to speed. I mean, obviously the results have gotten significantly better as this season
hmm
has progressed for her. Do you think are you guys at a place where you think she's 100% healthy? Like we're going to see the best version
Yeah,
of Mel here in this
yeah. I mean,
postseason?
she looks good. What we've seen from her lately, what we've seen from her, even SEC tournament, she had a great tournament. But even what we've seen from her day to day since, uh, she looks good. I'm excited to see what it looks like tomorrow against Cal.
No, it does feel like, again, a lot of these players in the lineup playing some of their best ball, and that's a testament to you. And obviously, this group got challenged all season long. One challenge in particular, the SEC this year, absolutely loaded. The best stat, again, Tennessee, seventh seed at the conference tournament, but 10 in the country overall. Your conference made the decision to play everyone. No matches off, no weekends off. A year in retrospect, what do you make of that decision? What was that schedule like?
I love it. You to me, you come to the SEC to play against the best, and you are guaranteed to play everybody every year, at least how we currently have it. And yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's one top 10 match after another. There was 8 of the top 13 teams in the country, and there's 8 weeks of the year. So you can do the math. I mean, it's a challenge week after week. You never can relax. But again, if you're trying to be the best that you can be, you don't really want to relax in the middle of your season. You want to be pushed. You want your interest to be peaked at all times, and I feel like that's what the SEC allows for. And you throw in on top not just great teams, but tough environments to play in. It compounds, and it makes you better, it makes you tougher.
A Texas swing, like Tennessee, Vanderbilt, who I believe are travel partners, if my brain is working correctly. Like all of it. Maybe not though. Am I wrong? Were you guys with Tennessee?
Vandy, Missouri.
Yeah.
We had Tennessee on a split weekend with Kentucky. So we played Kentucky on a Friday, fly back, play Tennessee at home on Sunday.
Not an easy
LSU Ole
trip, by the way,
Miss.
because let me tell you,
No.
indoors in Kentucky can get you.
Yeah, I mean there's not much easy about the SEC, but again, I mean that's we don't practice the way that we do for things to be easy. We practice the way that we do to be challenged and to be pushed outside of our comfort zone. And again, I think that this schedule certainly pays dividends for our players' development.
You know, LSU one weekend, a Texas swing. Don't forget Norman. Oh, by the way, they got stuff cooking in Gainesville, South Carolina.
hmm
Always tough. Yeah, there's some tough
Yeah,
trips in conference play.
yeah,
Needs
it ain't
credits.
easy. Auburn,
Yeah,
yeah, it
yeah,
ain't easy.
exactly. Oh, and by the way, just a little in between kickoff weekend, national indoors. We're gonna play UNC as well. Always a fan of the
hmm
Georgia schedule, for what it's worth.
Yeah.
If there was one match from this season, as you look back, where you were proudest of your group this year, which match would you pick and why?
Really, I don't know. It's hard to say one. There've been several. The effort that we put up at LSU on the road, I felt like they were very good. Mel saving match points in the second set to come back and clinch, it was huge. And then, I really proud of the way that we responded at the SEC tournament in general, from the week before, coming out. I mean, like you said, I mean, you're playing Tennessee. There's a 7 seed in the tournament. They're 10 in the country. You're playing Oklahoma in the semis. They're 4 or 5 in the country. You're playing A&M. I think they were 1 at the time. Yeah, that's your path, and the way that we responded there was terrific. And I think, looking, we played UNC. We actually played a pretty fair match against UNC in Athens indoors, and then our response to that was getting up to national indoors and being solid. But yeah, it's hard to point to one because the requirement has been uh, put what you just did in the rearview mirror and get ready again. And that's probably what I'm most proud of this group for is the ability to keep replicating day after day, week after week.
Did you have to fight any complacency at all this season with this group, just given the continuity, given where you guys were late February, March, April up top?
No, I don't think that it's complacency. I think that it's just I think that it's like we both talked about. I mean, it's the challenge of the schedule. It's the like we're not necessarily vulnerable because we're complacent. We're vulnerable because we're who we're playing against every week,
Yeah.
and the ability from the other side of the net to beat you if you're not ready to go. And so again, I mean, were we perfect in that category? I don't know that we were perfect, but I think that we did a pretty good job of showing up day after day.
Yeah, I would argue 25-3 would speak to that fact. Yeah, not the worst. Showed up day after day. I agree with that. And again, it's a credit to this group. They were ready from the moment the balls were rolled out in match one. On the other side of that coin, if you could go back in time and allocate more time in practice for one thing for this group this season, it's something I'm asking every coach. What might you choose to do more of with this? Whether it be on the court, off the court, whatever it may be, what would you
Mm.
go back and do more of?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. We're pretty religious about making sure we're getting what exactly what we need every day in practice. So I think that our needs have been hit pretty well. You may have to ask a player for that one.
Yeah, it's fair enough. Because of all the travel this year and just the sheer amount of time you guys are spending with one another, how was that? You know, again, this group knows each other well. Like, there's no secrets
Mhm.
between this team. What's this team do at the on the not on court to build that chemistry we see when they play?
Yeah, I mean, I think that this team understands that we all have the same thing in mind. We're all trying to do this thing for each other, for Georgia. I think Georgia in itself is a connecting factor, and this community that supports Georgia. I think that that's a big deal. And if anything, I think that that's become extra visible this year and tangible, and that in itself has been kind of a uniting factor. But to your point, uh, I think that taking the off days as off days and rest and recovery and staying in front of your body has been a big deal for this group too. So, they do stuff on off days together. They go to dinner and do the regular college thing. And so it's yeah, they're ready to go play together for this last week here.
Who gets the aux cord in the locker room?
I don't know. I know in my van I do, and it's kind of a non-negotiable. My van knows that. They say that they don't like the music. Nastia will approve it. The other Hayden and Ice act like they don't like it, but I think that somewhere in there they appreciate it.
Throwing out that. I like
I
it.
know that Dasha and Mel get it in Jared's van, so
That's
he's a little bit more accommodating than I am.
That's very,
Mm.
very good. I like that. Let me ask you this. When you were a senior as a player, did you get the aux in the van?
I don't think so. I don't think they had auxes
Yeah,
then.
that's actually. Did you get to
I
choose the
don't-
CD, the
Y-
PH, the cassette
yeah,
tape?
yeah. I don't know what it was. We probably were radioing. But yeah, I remember Jamie Hunt was definitely a radio hog. He would always but he would listen to Rihanna. It's like, come on, man. Like, come on,
I
we're getting
like
ready to go play. Come
that's
on,
a bit.
Jimbo.
Oh, that's good. Does your band know? Like, is it a set list? Like, do they know? All right, we're driving to the match. This is what Drake. These are the three songs he's gonna hit.
There's one that they know, and then they know the bands that are going to be playing. Pretty
That's
much, it's pretty predictable. Yeah,
Look, chemistry from coaches to players important as
yeah,
well. Like that matters. By the way,
yeah.
this is a random note, but I was talking about this with Frankie Brennan, who brought you up, and for what it's worth, was very complimentary of your discussions in transitioning from assistant to head coach.
Hmm.
It's now year two for you in that role, and again, this senior class, you were their assistant. You recruited them in that role. Obviously, there are some younger players who you recruited as a head coach. Is the relationship different? Like, has it changed what your relationship has had to look like with players over the 2 years as you grow into this role? Can it stay the same?
Ideally, it doesn't change much, and I think that as an assistant, I took pride in making sure that the ladies in the locker room knew that I cared about them,
Mm-hmm.
and that it was bigger than just what we do on Friday and Sundays with a tennis racket, and that I really just want to see them succeed in whatever they choose to do. And so coming into the head role, that hasn't changed at all, and I think that that's. I don't know. I think it's really important for them to feel supported beyond the lines of a tennis court, for them to know, yeah, I'll do anything for you out here on the court. I'll do anything for you beyond. And we're going to be here for good. We're not just a 4 year kind of relationship. We're here for life.
No, absolutely. It's why, again, so many you feel like around the Georgia program keep on coming back, certainly both men's and women's side. Obviously, we've talked about this senior class. You got a lot of faces you got to replace this offseason, and I know you are focused on the here and now, but obviously this week was transfer portal week opening, and I'm just curious how you view the portal in the broader context of roster construction.
Yeah, I mean, really, since I've been here, Sophia's been the first one
Mm-hmm.
that we've done, and I feel like she's been a great addition to the team. Um, we've got some freshmen coming in next year where obviously, we're losing a lot of experience. And so, transfer portal is always an option to have some baked in experience. But, for us, it doesn't really matter what the background is, what where you come from, whether you're from right down the road in Georgia, whether you're from across the ocean. Is it the right kind of fit for our program, and does what we do resonate with you? And do you love tennis? I mean, that's a big one. So it doesn't really change from uh, freshman recruit to portal. It's the questions are the same, and you have to tick the same boxes.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like portal monitoring, that's a Will job. You're like, come on, give me a report, Will. You're like, send me five names.
I don't know. I don't know. We're all involved with the recruiting.
Yeah, no,
It's important.
it's why the talent is where it is. Certainly in Athens, year
Mhm.
in, year out. And I want to ask you, obviously, about your match. Before I do, one final question. I'm going to ask you to put on the pundit hat. I know you are locked in on all things going on in Athens, and very much looking forward to that battle, of course, with Cal. But if you had an opportunity to step back as a fan, just pick a match to enjoy this weekend: Michigan, Texas, Auburn, Duke, Stanford, Oklahoma State, UNC, NC State, Virginia, Tennessee, A&M, UCLA, LSU, Ohio State. What do you pick and why? It's a murderer's row.
I mean, yeah, it's eight great matches this week. I think, the winner of our match plays the winner of that Duke Auburn match, and so I think that one has plenty of curiosity. I think Jordan's done a great job this year, and Auburn's on a roll, and Duke's put together a really strong team. So I'm curious to see that, but I'm sure there are going to be other matches. I don't know the times of the other matches, but I'm sure there are going to be plenty playing while we are. And just like last weekend, you get done, and I'm just as much of a fan of college tennis as the next guy, and I love wrapping up our matches and flipping on you know. Gruskin on the tube and cluing into what's going around the country, watching the final, watching that Tennessee Duke match unfold on the men's side last week. I mean, it's tennis in May, college tennis in May. I think is just the greatest thing. So, selfishly, I wish I could be two places at once, one on the couch, watching other college tennis matches, but. Fortunately, my job requires me to be on court coaching against Cal tomorrow.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, you only get to enjoy one at a time.
Yeah,
You brought up that Tennessee Duke match. I'm just trying to think historically. Like 3 love down, 5 love down in a third. Do you remember anything like that? Like, am I missing any prominent
it's pretty
examples?
wild. On the men's side, that's a pretty big comeback. Couple breaks in the third. I don't know.
It's kind of like
Yeah, that's pretty big.
it's like Dasha versus A&M last year, but they were down 3 love overall. Like it's just
Yeah,
insane.
yeah.
It's insanity. And yeah, again, one coach told me instead of May Madness, trademark obviously in use, let's go with mayhem and use that.
Mm,
And that's what it was. It was
yeah,
mayhem. I'm
yeah,
workshopping it. But so
yeah.
one weekend in, so far so good, and certainly again, as one coach put it, when I listed to them the other matchups, they go, "Man, I'm happy I'm not in any of those matchups." So
Yeah.
certainly some fun ones. Yours very fun as well. Again, not a ton of secrets between you and Cal. Faced off last year in this round of 16. A lot of familiar faces across the board. I'm curious what you view as their biggest strength and what it's going to take for the Dogs to keep advancing.
Yeah, I mean, we got a dose of it last year. They compete really well, and that's a credit to Amanda and what that program's always been about. It's always been first class and very competitive, and we've had battles with them every time we play them. And so, yeah, it's just excited to get out there and go into a match where there's not really going to be a whole lot of theatrics. It's going to be good tennis, respectful tennis at the end of the day, and a good level. You know, I imagine a solid little crowd here in Athens to provide an atmosphere. I think that definitely enhances this time of the year when you've got people in the stands. So yeah, we're excited for a good, clean battle with them.
Yeah, it's going to be very fun. Again, a lot of experience across the board. Names like El Sola, Lon Me, again, Dasha, Malik, all these seniors. This is what you all you can ask for as a college tennis fan. So certainly looking forward to watching the action in Athens, and always appreciate getting the chance to chat with you, head coach Drake Bernstein. Good luck to you, of course, and Georgia here this weekend, and appreciate you taking the time this morning.
Thanks. We're getting you to Athens soon.
Oh, it's
Go
happening.
dogs.
I'm getting there. Let's even if it's Sunday before we both leave to Waco, I'm
Let's
getting
go.
there. Yeah. So,
You're always welcome.
I appreciate it, Coach. Thank you for
All
joining today.
right, go dogs. See ya.
Recording.